Hello students. So we are discussing about the corrosion and its control, module 4. Today we will discuss about the wet corrosion or electrochemical corrosion, and also we will see the prevention process for the corrosion. That means how can we prevent the metals from the corrosion. So let's start the session. So students, we are discussing about the corrosion and its control. That is module 4, and today our lecture number is 4. Okay, so previously in the previous classes, whatever we have discussed, I'm just once again repeating. That is the definition of corrosion. Okay, what are the causes of corrosion, what are the effects of corrosion, the classification of corrosion, that is dry. There are two types of corrosion that we have. One is dry corrosion and one is wet corrosion, and also we have seen that is the if electrochemical theory of corrosion, that is the reaction mechanisms, whatever reactions we have in our wet corrosion that we have seen. So up to this we have discussed. Okay, now today we will discuss about the differences between the dry corrosion and wet corrosion, and some of the types of electrochemical corrosion, and also we will discuss about the protective measures that we can apply to prevent the metals from the corrosion. Okay, so what are the differences between dry corrosion and wet corrosion? Generally, the dry corrosion is taking place. The first difference is generally dry corrosion is taking place in absence of moisture, in absence of water molecules, and wet corrosions are taking place in presence of water molecules. Okay, next, it involves dry corrosion. In dry corrosion involves direct attack of the chemicals on the metal surface, and wet corrosion, in the wet corrosion it involves formation of the electrochemical cells. That is why electrochemical corrosion, we are using this term, that is electrochemical corrosion. Why we are using this term? As because what are the things like while we are checking the reactions mechanism of the wet corrosion, that time we can see that one anodic condition is there, one cathodic condition is there, one electrolytic solution is there. So that means all these things one of the cell like structure it will construct. That is why it is called by electrochemical corrosion. We are using this term electrochemical corrosion. Okay, and dry corrosion also called by the chemical corrosion. Why? Because some of the chemical reactions are incorporating in this corrosion. That is why dry corrosion is also called by the chemical corrosion. Now wet corrosion or electrochemical corrosion, that is like excuse me, it involves the formation of electrochemical cells. In electrochemical corrosion, it involves some of the electrochemical cells. Dry corrosion is very slow process and wet corrosion is a rapid process. Corrosion products are produced at the site of the corrosion, and corrosion occurs at anode, but rust is deposited at the cathode. Okay, so corrosion products are produced at the site of the corrosion. For the dry corrosion, the corrosion products, that means the layer, whatever metal layers are forming, that is produced at the site of the corrosion. And for the wet corrosion or electrochemical corrosion, what will happen? Generally the corrosion occurs at the anode. Okay, anode. Why anode? Because at the anode the metal is releasing the, we have the oxidation reaction, which will be oxidized, the metals. So metals are releasing some of the electrons and forming the metal positive ion. That is why the in wet corrosion or electrochemical corrosion, at anode only the corrosion occurs. Okay. And the rust deposited at cathode. The process of corrosion is uniform. For the dry corrosion, the process is corrosion is uniform, and for the wet or electrochemical corrosion, it depends on the size of the anodic part of the metal. Okay. So for the wet corrosion or electrochemical corrosion, it depends on the size of the anodic part of the metal. So these are the some of the differences that we have, that is the dry corrosion, in between dry corrosion and wet or electrochemical corrosion. Now we will discuss about some of the types of electrochemical corrosion. You have very few in your syllabus, that is pitting corrosion. First of all, we have the that is pitting corrosion. Okay. So what will happen, pitting corrosion, generally we can see like if we have a metal rod. Okay, this is a metal rod, and on this metal surface we have one droplet of water. So what will happen after so many days, what will happen, if the water will be remaining in that position, that will and then after some time, below the water layer, what will happen, we are having the metal surface will be corroded. This type of generally corrosion is called by pitting corrosion. You can see this is a metal surface. Okay, this metal surface we have, this is the water droplet. Okay, so below the water droplet, after some time, if the water droplet is stuck here, though, so what will happen, after some time, the in the below this layer, the metal surface will be corroded. So this corrosion is called by pitting corrosion. Now what will happen, look here. So this is a metal surface, and on this metal surface we have a water droplet, right? So here some of the some of the metal surface we have that is open to air, and one of the metal surface that is below the water droplet layer. What will happen, so the surface which will have the which will be the open to air, what will happen, the amount of oxygen is higher for this surface, and for this surface, right? And amount of oxygen is lower in this below surface, below the water droplet. Okay, so the same surface, the same metal surface having some difference in oxygen concentration, and this causes the corrosion, and this type of corrosion is called by pitting corrosion. Okay. Next we have like water line corrosion. Water line corrosion, what is water line corrosion? Like if we are keeping water into a iron tank, right? This iron tank is half filled by the water. Now what will happen, after so many time, you can see below the just below the water level, the some of the metal surface will be corroded. Why? Because look here, this metal surface, some of the metal surface is open to air, and some of the metal surface is below the water layer, right? So what will happen, the layer which is below the water, below the water level, that is having lower amount of oxygen, and the metal surface which is open to air, that is having the higher amount of oxygen. That means here also we are having the, at the same metal surface we are having the oxygen difference concentration of oxygen in the same metal surface. So these difference in oxygen concentration, that will cause the corrosion. the corrosion will be taking place just below the water level. That is why it's called water line corrosion. Okay, so this is another type of corrosion. Next we have, that is the concentration cell corrosion. Concentration cell corrosion, like if we are keeping a beaker, into that beaker we are taking a sodium chloride solution. That is one type of electrolyte, all of you know. So in a beaker, one electrolytic solution is there, and uh, in that solution we have dipped the zinc rod. The zinc rod is half deep. Look here, some of the zinc rod is below the sodium chloride layer, and some of the layer will be open to air. So here also the same zinc surface having the different concentration of oxygen. So these different in concentration of oxygen, that will cause the corrosion of the zinc surface. So after so many days we are having this corrosion below this layer. So below this below the sodium chloride layer, so that is called by concentration cell corrosion. Okay, so these are the some of the types of electrochemical corrosion that you should know, because very few we have in your syllabus. Now you should know how we can prevent the corrosion. Before knowing the prevention procedure, first of all you should know the galvanic series. Very important, huh? Galvanic series. Excuse me. Galvanic series. So what is your galvanic series? Galvanic series is mainly what will happen. The metals are in this series, the metals are arranged according to their oxidation potential. That means higher in the galvanic series means the higher oxidation potential. Okay, so these are the some of the metals, like magnesium alloys, then zinc, aluminium, cadmium, iron, lead, tin. So you can see zinc is higher than iron, right? Zinc, then aluminum, cadmium, iron, lead, tin, and tin is lower than the iron. So you can say according to this galvanic series, the the oxidation potential of the zinc is higher than the oxidation potential of iron, and then tin, that you can say. Okay, now the oxidation potential, generally corrosion is the process of oxidation reaction. Okay, so the metal having higher oxidation potential, that means the metal is more prone to be corroded. Okay, so that means the corrosion of the zinc will be the faster rate will be higher, and then iron, and then tin. Okay, so this is a galvanic series. Now after that you can see what will be the utility of this galvanic series, why we are discussing this galvanic series, that you can know shortly. Okay, next that you have, that is prevention or protection from the corrosion. Now corrosion can be protected by two aspects. One is we can modify our environment, and second thing, we can use the coating procedure. Okay, we can modify the property of metals. Okay, so modification of environment, like if we have in our environment humidity, that is moisture. So in presence of higher amount of moisture, what will happen? The corrosion process will be rapid. Now what we have to do, if we use like silica gel, that can absorb the water molecules, so that can reduce the rate of the corrosion. Or if we have the acid environment, so in this environment the corrosion process will take place, right? So to decrease the rate of corrosion, we can use the base. right? So to remove that acid, so thus we can modify our environment to reduce the rate of the corrosion and to protect the metals from the corrosion process. Now or we can use the corrosion inhibitors. Very important, corrosion inhibitors generally are of two types. One is anodic inhibitors, one is cathodic inhibitors. Anodic inhibitors means inhibitors, that means the compounds that we are using to inhibit the reaction. So anodic inhibitors means the compound that can stop the anodic reaction, uh, that can prevent the anodic reaction, that is anodic inhibitor. And cathodic inhibitors means that can prevent the cathodic reactions. Okay, so anodic inhibitors generally examples of alkalis, molybdates, phosphates. So if we use phosphate or chromates or molybdates, what will happen in anode? We are having metal positive ion, that means that metal will form metal molybdates, metal phosphate, metal chromates, and thus they can precipitate out, which will form a protective layer on the metal, right? Yeah. So and cathodic inhibitor, in the cathode generally we have the acid condition reaction and neutral condition reaction. Now acid condition reaction can be stopped by using this, because base can remove that acid, right? Okay, so some of the bases are the cathodic inhibitors, that are the examples. And one more cathodic inhibitors we have, like zinc, nickel, magnesium, that we can use, because in cathode also hydroxyl ion is producing OH minus. So that OH minus will react with the zinc and it will produce zinc hydroxide or nickel hydroxide or magnesium hydroxide, and thus the our base metal can be protected. Okay, so these are the some of the inhibitors also we can use for prevention process. Next, come to the part that is modification of the properties of metal. Now we can also modify the properties of metal to prevent the corrosion. How? By alloying, like if we don't use the iron, pure iron, rather than the pure iron, if we use the steel, what will happen? This is the iron, mixture of iron and chromium. So these alloys are what are less prone to be corrosion. Okay, prone to the process of corrosion. So by mixture of some of the metals, we can prevent, but we can reduce the rate of the corrosion for the metals. Okay, or refining. Look, refining means the metals, some of the metals, if we know that these compounds, these components of the metals are generally causing the corrosion. So if we refine that compounds, remove that compounds into and substitute the compounds with sulfur or phosphorus, so what will happen? The corrosion will be less. So that is called refining. Annealing, if we use some of the heat treatment, if we heat the metal, and it can reduce the rate of the corrosion. Okay, so that is called annealing. So these are the some of the changes of properties that we can make. Or one thing that is most important, that is a protective coating. Protective coating are generally of three types. One is organic coating, inorganic coating, and metallic coating. Metallic coating, inorganic coating, and organic coating. Generally organic coating, that means paint. Whatever paint we are using, that are the organic compound, and that organic compound generally we use for prevention of corrosion, okay, of the metal. Inorganic coating, some of the inorganic coating examples are phosphate coating, chromate coating, okay, chemical oxide coating. So these are the some of the coating also. If we coat the base metal, our base metal with this coating, that base metal can be protected from the corrosion. And second thing is anodic coating, metallic coating. Generally metallic coatings are two types. One is anodic coating and one is cathodic coating. Okay, you can see anodic coating and cathodic coating, two types. What are the anodic coating? Anodic coating means like we have already discussed about the galvanic series, right? So if our as for example, if our base metal is iron, so we have to protect this iron metal from the corrosion. So what we have to do, we have to coat, I'm asking you to do the anodic coating. Now what you have to check? You have to check above the iron, whatever the metals we are having in the galvanic series, that metals can be used for the anodic coating. So if the iron metal is coated with the zinc, that is galvanizing, so galvanization is one of the example of the anodic coating. Understand? So this is anodic coating. And cathodic coating, what is cathodic coating? Cathodic coating means if our base metal, again the iron, and if I want to coat the metal with the cathodic coating, so what will happen? We have to choose the below metals, whatever the below metals of the iron in the galvanic series, that metals can be used for the cathodic coating. Like tin. Tin is the below metal of the iron. So tin can be coated with the iron to prevent the iron from the corrosion. So that is called tinning. So tinning is one of the example of cathodic coating. Understand? So anodic coating and cathodic coating, these are the two types of coating that we have. The metallic coating. Okay, so all these are prevention procedure. Now one more thing, one more question you can have, in between anodic coating and cathodic coating, which will be preferable? Generally anodic coating is preferable because during the coating procedure, if there will be a fracture, okay, what will happen? Through that fracture, the oxygen molecule enter. Now for the anodic coating, what will happen? It will react, the oxygen will react with the higher oxidation potential metal, that means the zinc, not the base metal. Our base metal will be intact. But for cathodic coating, what will happen? As the coating material has the lower oxidation potential, that is why the oxygen will react with our base metal, not with the coating metal. Okay, so that means in cathodic coating we cannot prevent our base metal if we have some of the fracture. Okay, so that is why generally anodic coating will be preferable. So these are all the prevention procedure that we can apply to prevent the metals from the corrosion. So this is the end of the chapter, right? Now I'm again repeating the topics that we have discussed today. First topic was our the dry corrosion, the examples, the differences between dry corrosion and wet or electrochemical corrosion. Very important topic. Okay, next we have discussed about the types of some of the types of corrosion. What are the types of corrosion that we have discussed? Concentration cell corrosion, then water line corrosion we have discussed, then pitting corrosion we have discussed. Okay, very few you have. So these three we have discussed so far, and we have also other types of corrosion also, but you don't have in your syllabus. That's why I'm skipping that portion. Okay, next we have okay, next we have discussed about the galvanic series. Galvanic series means generally the metals are in this series, the metals are arranged in according to their oxidation potential. Okay, so higher the oxidation potential, higher will be the tendency to be corrosion. So these are the some of the series that we have discussed. Okay, next we have discussed the prevention procedure. Prevention procedure, there are two aspects. One is modification, we can do the modification of environment, and second thing, we can do the modification of the properties of metal. The third thing that we can do, the metallic the coating procedure. Generally coatings are three types. One is organic coating, one is inorganic coating, and one is metallic coating. Metallic coating again are of two types. One is anodic coating and one is cathodic coating. So these are the total your corrosion and control chapter. Okay, so now you have to follow. You have to these are the corrosion chapter. Now you have to follow the chapter, follow the session, follow the classes regularly, and you can understand the corrosion procedure and its prevention procedure. Okay, thank you students.